Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be reacting to the report that says the Washington Commanders are expected to heavily pursue Russell Wilson this offseason. We'll talk about what it would take to get him, how much I would give up to get Russell Wilson, his contract details, and much more. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. I'm trying to get to 7,000 subscribers, and I would really appreciate if you could help me get there. Also, hit that like button and those notifications. It really helps out a ton. And also, go ahead and follow my Twitter. Now, let's get right into the video. So we've been hearing a lot of different reports that the Washington football team is going to try to swing big to get a big name quarterback. I mean, we've seen reports from John Keim, Ben Standig, Michael Silver, Albert Breer, all, throughout this entire offseason. And I think we all know the Washington football team is going to try to do its best to get one of these big name quarterbacks, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, and maybe even Derek Carr. It's going to be unlikely, but they're going to try to do that before they go for the Jimmy Garoppolos, the Jameis Winstons, and then Mitch Trubisky's, and the rest of the list, that we don't want to go for those guys. Rather go for one of these big names, which is going to be hard to do, and if you can't do that, then try to go to the draft. And I think that's what they will do. But, this is the first report that, has singled out a specific name. So I kind of wanted to react to that. This is from Chad Ryan, who used to cover the team, and he still covers the team. But he said some news that's not related to the name. He reported this 2 days ago, the day before the name was being revealed. I'm hearing rumors that the veteran QB Washington will be heavily pursuing is Russell Wilson. At this stage, just rumors. Don't treat this as as confirmed. So basically, he's kind of saying, we all know they're going to go for one of these big name quarterbacks, but from what he's reporting, I think he's kind of saying that Russell Wilson is at the top of their list. He's kind of the best of two worlds when you think about Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, obviously. Aaron Rodgers and Deshaun Watson. Obviously, you have to, if Deshaun Watson does get cleared, Russell Wilson's kind of in the middle between the two. Aaron Rodgers has maybe, who knows how many years he has left. I don't think he's going to retire this offseason, but, who knows? You would have to get a commitment from him, and I don't think Aaron Rodgers is coming here anyways, even though he has that connection to Ron Rivera, both going to Cal. But I think that Deshaun Watson, a lot younger, obviously has the off-the-field issues and would cost more because he is much younger and has like 4 or 5 years left on his contract. And you got Russell Wilson in the middle, 33 years old. Some people still think that's old for a quarterback. I think 33 is not old at all. I think that's the middle of your career, especially if you're an elite quarterback like Russell Wilson. These guys are starting to play in their late 30s, early 40s. It's not just Brady anymore. A lot of these quarterbacks are playing until their late 30s. So Russell Wilson still has probably 5 years of 3 years of elite football, top 5, top 7-ish quarterback play, and then 5 years total at least of top 10, top 12 play. And then after that, maybe, 38, a little older than that, he'll start to, decline a little bit. But that's more than enough time to win with him. And it's going to cost a lot to get someone like Russell Wilson. First off, let's look at his stats. We all know Russell Wilson's a beast, and some people think, he had a really down year, and he had a little bit of a down year, but he still wasn't bad in 13 games, because 13 and a half games, because he missed that game playing through that finger injury, which obviously affects, how you're throwing the football. We saw him come back against us. He came back a little bit too early, and he just didn't look good. And you could tell that his hand was bothering him, but he fought through, and he still threw 25 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, got sacked 33 times, a pass rating of 103.1 in 14 games, and the 65% completion percentage. The year before, 69% completion percentage, 4,200 yards, 40 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. He's just an absolute beast. We all know this. We all know he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Now Brady's gone. Rodgers is likely going to stay, but he might switch to the divisions. And that's the thing Washington needs to try to take advantage of. If they can get their quarterback of the future, or at least someone solid. There's not many great, quarterbacks in the NFC. You think about, you got Kyler Murray, who's good, but he's not elite. Dak Prescott, who's good, but's not elite. And then you have Aaron Rodgers still, but he might be on the move. You got Russell Wilson. he might be on the move. And then in the AFC, you got Mahomes, Burrow, Herbert, Allen, Watson, who might be on the move, Mac Jones, who's, has some potential. Same thing with Lawrence and Wilson. The NFC does have some young quarterbacks like Fields and Lance, but a lot of the best quarterbacks are in the AFC. So if Washington could somehow get someone like Russell Wilson, I think they would be, I forgot Matthew Stafford in the NFC, but they would be one of the contenders in the NFC because, they've got a quarterback who is probably Russell Wilson's the best quarterback in the NFC besides Aaron Rodgers. I would put him at number 2. This year, again, he was playing with an injury, but before he was injured, he had like 10 touchdowns, 1 interception. So he was balling out before he got injured. And, it would automatically put us to contention no matter what unless we give up our whole team, and we're not going to do that. We're going to be in contention with Russell Wilson. First let's look at his rushing stats. I don't think he did much this year, 183 yards, but look at 2020, 513 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, and really the best thing about his mobility is it allows him to extend plays. He gets out of the pocket, even sometimes in the pocket, he manipulates it and is able to extend plays, let his receivers make plays for him. You look at his contract. So if Washington were to acquire him, they would acquire a 2-year, $51 million deal, $0 guaranteed, roster bonus of $5 million March 20th, and the cap hits would be $24 and $27 million. So that would be an absolutely amazing deal to have, but I do think the deal would likely get reworked because, he's going to be going to a new team, and I think they would probably, give him a new deal, try to, lock him down for a few more years. And I think it would be a ton of money. It would be in that neighborhood of $40 million a year, but I would do it, give him a bunch of guaranteed money so the cap hit gets lower. And I think that would be something that you could do to try and incentivize him. And, Aaron Rodgers, no chance of coming here. I don't think he's going to come to DC if he does leave. Russell Wilson, though, I think there's a little bit more of a chance because, Aaron Rodgers is in a great situation in Green Bay. Great coach, great player, and his general manager has been making great moves, and he's been playing with that team his whole career. Russell Wilson, the team has been struggling the last couple years. They did make the playoffs the year before this past season, but still got lost in the first round to a backup quarterback in John Walford. And I just don't see, and obviously didn't make the playoffs this year. And, Russell Wilson was frustrated last year, and they made the playoffs. So, you wonder how frustrated he's going to be this offseason, if Pete Carroll's going to continue. So, and also, Russell Wilson was born in Virginia, I believe, or grew up here in Southern Virginia, I believe. And then also, he would be a part of, a totally new team in terms of they just rebranded, new uniforms, new everything. So I think that could be enticing to him too. Also gets to play in the nation's capital. So I think it would be a situation where he would potentially come here, a solid offensive line. He has some weapons out there. If he would come here in Terry McLaurin and Antonio Gibson, Logan Thomas, still would have to add some guys. But here's the thing. You add a guy like Russell Wilson, and him alone will attract more guys to come here, guys to take a little bit of a cheaper deal to come here instead of us having to overpay by a couple million to try to get that receiver because they want to play with good quarterbacks. And of course, Russell Wilson is a great quarterback. So, and one thing I wanted to, so in terms of what it would take for Russell Wilson, it would take a lot because, the Seahawks are going to be in rebuilding mode. And I just don't know that, they're not going to accept 2 first-round picks and a play or something. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot to get someone like Russell Wilson, who's a franchise quarterback, is a great leader, which I forgot to say, and is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL and has missed 2 games in his NFL career since entering the NFL in 2012. So I would give a ton up for Russell Wilson. Really, a minimum 2 first-round picks. And then I would give up probably 3 first-round picks and a player. Give them a choice on our D-line. Take out Chase Young and take out Jonathan Allen because I think Chase Young is worth more than Montez Sweat and Daron Payne. So I would say give them 3 first-round picks and a choice of Sweat or Payne. And I would call it a deal. And, some people might be like, hey, you're crazy. Why would you give up that much for, Russell Wilson, who I've seen some people compare him to Donovan McNabb, which does not even make sense to me. Yes, he was 33 when he got here, but you could tell his play was declining, and it was just fishy that the, Eagles traded him in the division. It's just not a good comparison, in my opinion. But Russell Wilson, I mean, you saw what the Rams gave up 2 first-round picks, Jared Goff, and like a third-round pick, and they're in the Super Bowl. Our roster, besides quarterback, isn't on the same level as the Rams, but it's similar, because even after that, because they got Matt Stafford, they made more aggressive moves, getting Von Miller, able to get Odell Beckham. So, getting someone like Russell Wilson allows you to be even more aggressive. So I think a minimum would probably be like 3 first-round picks and a player. So whether it's Payne or Montez Sweat, I think Montez Sweat would probably be a little bit more intriguing for them, just because they're in a rebuilding mode, so they don't want to pay a guy right away, and Payne would be on a 1-year deal and they would have to pay him. So someone like Montez Sweat, they would be able to keep him for 2 years and then either trade him before that trade deadline, or they would be able to keep him. So those are my thoughts right there. I know some people might be like, you're crazy for giving up 3 first-round picks and plus for Russell Wilson, but I would definitely do it for a guy that is going to instantly make you contenders, going to get you in the playoffs, which you haven't done. You haven't won a playoff game since 2005, and that has got to change in the next few years, or things are going to have to change. And whatever happens, they have to take a big swing at a quarterback. And I wouldn't say they took a big swing last year with Stafford. They took a swing, but I mean, they gave up a first and a third for Stafford, and the Rams gave up 2 firsts, a third, and Goff. And Goff did have a bad contract, but the Lions did want Goff. I mean, the GM was a former, or worked in the Rams front office, so that was intriguing to them. We didn't, put an offer that was that close to the Rams. So I mean, we have to take a big swing, make an offer they can't refuse, a Godfather offer. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. One quick thing also, in terms of the uniforms, the white ones, I'm still not a huge fan of, just because it does not feel like DC at all. And I know Jason Wright said that the red in this is the same exact red that is in the burgundy and gold uniforms that we had, or the burgundy uniforms the new ones we got, but it just does not look the same. I think there should be some gold there, change the color there as well. I think something like this would be much better. I mean, I don't like it totally shaded in, but that could, that's fine as well. This looks much cleaner, in my opinion, because you got the gold and you got the true red. I mean, the uniform itself isn't terrible. It's more it's part of it, but it's the color. It's the color that I don't like. Making it more of a burgundy color would be better, in my opinion. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and peace.